The day I signed a contract to become billionaire CEO Damian Cross's wife. I thought I was selling 90 days of my life for $10 million. I was wrong. I was selling my identity. By midnight, my bank account had $10 million in it. By 1 in the morning, my wedding ring had triggered a security alarm inside the Cross family vault. By 2, Damian had a gun pointed at his own grandfather. And by 3, I learned the woman who had raised me had left one sentence in a hidden file. Never marry a Cross. If you already have, don't let your husband find out who you really are. I should have walked away. Instead, I signed the contract. My brother needed the money. That was the only reason. At least that's what I told myself. The conference room on the 42nd floor of Cross International was colder than a hospital. Damian sat across from me, wearing a black suit that probably cost more than my apartment. He didn't look like a man asking a stranger to marry him. He looked like a man negotiating a hostile takeover. $10 million, he said. I stared at him. For 90 days. Correct. Intimacy? None. Separate bedrooms? Yes. Public appearances? When necessary. Divorce after 90 days. Automatic. I flipped through the contract. What's the catch? There isn't one, I laughed. There is always a catch. His eyes narrowed. You're right. He reached across the table and turned one page toward me. One condition. I read it. My smile disappeared. What's this? You cannot leave the Cross estate without my authorization. I looked up. That wasn't part of the deal. It is now. One I'm not signing. He didn't react. Instead, he opened another folder. Inside was a photograph of my younger brother lying in a hospital bed. My stomach dropped. Where did you get that? Your brother's medical records. You investigated my family. I investigate everyone who enters my life. You don't know me. I know enough. He slid another document across the table. My brother's surgery estimate, $680,000. Then another, his overdue hospital balance. Then another, a foreclosure notice for my apartment. I stared at him. You've been digging through everything. Yes. Why? Because I need a wife. That doesn't explain why you need me. His expression changed, just slightly. You're the only woman who fits the contract. That's not an answer. It will have to be. I pushed the papers back. You're controlling. Yes. Arrogant. Yes. Possibly insane. Probably. I almost smiled. Then I remembered my brother. 10 million? Yes. Paid today? Yes. No tricks? No. I picked up the pen. Damian stopped me. Read the final page. I've already read it. You didn't understand it. I turned to the last page. There was one handwritten sentence. Not typed. Not notarized. Blue ink. If the wife discovers the truth before the 90-day term ends, the contract becomes permanent. My heart stopped. I looked at him. What truth? Damian's face was unreadable. I don't know. That's a lie. Yes. At least you're honest. He leaned back. Are you signing? I looked at the photograph of my brother. Then at the contract. Then at Damian. Yes. The moment my pen touched the paper, his phone rang. He answered. Speak. A man's voice came through the speaker. I couldn't hear the words clearly. Damian's expression changed. What? Another pause. Then he stood. Lock down the building. The call ended. I stared at him. What happened? He looked at me. My grandfather knows about our marriage. So, he's trying to stop it. Why? Damian walked toward the window. I blinked. You were married. Before? No. Then what do you mean? He turned around. He chose the woman I was supposed to marry. I stared at him. Why didn't you? Because she disappeared. When? 7 years ago. My fingers tightened around the pen. What's her name? Damian didn't answer. Damian. He looked directly at me. Claire. The name hit me strangely. I didn't know why. But I had heard it before. Not recently. Years ago. In my childhood. A woman had once whispered that name while holding my hand. I pushed the memory away. That has nothing to do with me. Damian said nothing. Then the conference room door exploded inward. 2 security guards rushed in. One was bleeding. The other shouted, "They're on the floor." Damian grabbed my wrist. Run. Who? people who don't want you to become my wife. Too late. Not yet. He pulled me through a private door. We ran down a corridor. Alarms. Screamed. Employees scattered. Damien moved like he knew exactly where every camera was. You planned this. No. You look very prepared. I've been expecting it. Why? He stopped at an elevator. Because someone has been trying to kill me for 6 months. The elevator doors opened. Oh. We stepped inside. He pressed the basement level. I stared at him. And you thought marrying me was a good idea? No. Then why? He looked at my left hand. At the ring he had just placed there. Because they aren't really after me. The elevator descended. I swallowed. Then who are they? After. He looked at me. You. The elevator suddenly stopped. The lights went out. I heard a metallic click. Damien pulled me against the wall. Stay behind me. A red emergency light flickered on. The elevator doors opened. 3 armed men stood outside. Sound was deafening. 1 man dropped. The other 2 returned fire. Damien dragged me backward. There's another exit. Where? Behind us. There isn't a door. There is. He kicked the elevator wall. A panel fell open. I stared. You've got to be kidding. Move. We crawled through. The tunnel. Beyond was dark. I followed him blindly. Where are we going? Underground parking. You have a tunnel from your elevator to the parking garage. Yes. Why? Because my family doesn't trust elevators. That sentence somehow makes everything worse. We reached a steel door. Damien entered a code. Nothing happened. He tried again. Still nothing. He looked at me. Your hand. What? Put your hand on the scanner. Why? Do it. I pressed my palm against the scanner. The light turned green. The door opened. Damien stared at the scanner. Then at me. What? He shook his head. Nothing. But his expression said otherwise. We entered the parking garage. A black armored SUV waited. He opened the passenger door. I climbed in. Before he could get around the vehicle, someone stepped from behind a concrete pillar. An old man. Silver hair, black cane. He looked directly at me, then at Damien. You made a mistake. Damien stopped. Grandfather. The old man smiled. You married her. Yes. Do you know who she is? Yes. The old man's smile vanished. Do you? Damien said nothing. The old man looked at me. Do you know who you are? The old man's smile. I opened my mouth. No. Answer came. He laughed softly. That's what I thought. Damien stepped between us. Get out of here. The old man lifted his cane. A hidden blade slid from its handle. You should have killed her. 7 years ago. My stomach tightened. Damien's face went cold. You knew. I knew, man. Everything. Then you know why I didn't. Yes. The old man looked at me. And that is why she's dangerous. Damien grabbed my hand. Get in. I did. He started the engine. The SUV shot forward. The old man didn't chase us. He simply stood there, smiling. I looked back through the window. He raised one hand and mouthed 4 words. Ask about your mother. My blood froze. Damien noticed. Don't what? Don't ask. You know something? Yes. About my mother? Yes. Then tell me. Not yet, I laughed. You people love that phrase. He glanced at me. What? Not yet. I looked down at my wedding ring. Everyone keeps saying it. Damien's hands tightened on the steering wheel. Your ring. What about it? Take it off. I pulled. It didn't move. I tried again. Nothing. It stuck. Damien swore. What? That ring isn't supposed to lock. Then unlock it. I can't. Why? Because I didn't give you that ring. I stared at him. You put it on my finger. No. Yes. He shook his head. I gave you a temporary ring. I looked at my hand. The diamond suddenly flashed. A tiny red light appeared inside the stone. Damien slammed the brakes. The SUV stopped. What is that? He stared at the brakes. Ring. Then whispered. Someone activated it. Who? He didn't answer. Damien. He looked at me. My grandfather. The ring vibrated. A voice came from it. A woman's voice. Soft. Shaking. Familiar. Hello. Sweetheart. I stopped breathing. I knew that voice. I had heard it in my dreams since I was a child. Mom? Damien went pale. The voice continued. If you're hearing this, then you married a cross. I looked at Damien. His face had gone completely still. My mother whispered, I failed to keep you away from them. The recording crackled. Then came the sentence that destroyed everything I thought I knew. Your real name is not Nora Hayes. I couldn't breathe. Damien reached for the ring. The voice continued. Your name is Nora Cross. The recording ended. Neither of us moved. I looked at Damien. What did she say? He didn't answer. Damien. He looked at me. Nora. What? His voice was barely audible. My family has been looking for you for 22 years. I stared at him. Why? He looked toward the dark road ahead. Because you inherited something. What? He swallowed. My grandfather's company. I laughed. You're saying I'm the heir to your family's company? No. Then what? He looked at me. You inherited the part of a company nobody knows exists. I felt a coldness spread through my body. What part? The private division. What does it do? He didn't answer. Damien. It buys companies. So, it buys governments? I stared at him. He continued driving. I didn't speak for several minutes. Then I asked, how did my mother die? She didn't. I turned toward him. What? She disappeared. She was declared dead. Yes. By who? My grandfather. Why? Because she stole something. The black file. Damien glanced at me. That name? No. Then why did you say it? I didn't know. The word had simply appeared in my mind. Black file. I looked at my ring. What's inside it? Damien's voice dropped. Names. Whose names? People who control the world. I laughed nervously. That sounds ridiculous. I know. You're telling. My mother stole some secret list that controls governments. Yes. And your family wants it. Yes. Then why haven't they killed me? Damien looked at me. Because they don't know where it is. I touched my chest. You think it's inside me? SUV turned into a private underground garage. A security gate closed behind us. Damien turned off the engine. We're safe here. I looked around. Safe. For now. He opened his door. I stayed seated. He looked back. What? I want a divorce. His expression changed. Not possible. You said 90 days, I know. You said automatic. I know. Then divorce me. I can't. Why? He looked at my ring. Because the contract changed. When? The moment your mother's recording activated. What did it change to? He hesitated, then handed me his phone. A new version of the contract appeared. My signature was already there. I stared. I didn't sign this. I know. The new clause read, marriage shall remain valid until the black file is recovered, regardless of duration. Below it was another clause. In the event of the wife's death, all cross assets transfer to the wife. I looked up. What? Damien nodded. That's why my family wants you alive. But if I die, you inherit everything. Then why would they kill me? They wouldn't. He paused. Unless someone else wants the company. I stared. Who? He didn't answer. The garage lights suddenly went out. A single red light came on. Then a voice echoed through the speakers. Damien. He froze. The voice belonged to his grandfather. You brought her home. Damien reached for his gun. Show yourself. The old man's voice laughed. You still don't understand. Boy. A screen descended from the ceiling. His grandfather appeared. Behind him stood a woman. My blood froze. She was older, thinner, but I recognized her instantly. My mother. I stepped toward the screen. Mom. She looked directly at me. Don't trust him. Damien turned toward the screen. Where are you? She ignored him. Sweetheart, listen to me. I pressed my hands against the screen. Mom. Her eyes filled with tears. I couldn't come back. Why? Because they would have killed you. Who? She looked at Damien, then at his grandfather. The people who built the Cross family. I frowned. Built? My mother nodded. The company isn't what you think. Damien stepped forward. What did you do with the black file? My mother looked at him. You're asking the wrong question. What question should I ask? She looked at me. Ask your wife why she was born. I stared. What? My mother continued. You weren't born to inherit the company. Then why? You were born to destroy it. The screen went black. I turned toward Damien. He was staring at the floor. You knew? He didn't answer. You knew my mother was alive. Yes. You knew why she disappeared. Yes. You knew about me. Yes. You knew about the contract. Yes. I slapped him. The sound echoed through the garage. He didn't move. You used me. I protected you. You lied to me. Yes. You married me because I'm the key to your family's secret. Yes. And you expected me to forgive you. No. Then what do you expect? He looked at me. Nothing. For the first time, I saw something broken behind his eyes. I expect you to hate me. Good. I deserve it. Good. But there's one thing you need to know. I folded my arms. What? The woman on that screen isn't your mother. I froze. What? She looks like her. She sounds like her. She knows things. Only my mother could know. Damien shook his head. But she isn't. How do you know? Because my mother died 22 years ago. I stared. Your mother? Yes. He walked to a locked cabinet. Opened it. Inside was an old photograph. A woman stood beside a young Damien. And beside her was another little girl. I picked it up. The girl looked like me. Exactly like me. My fingers started shaking. Who is she? Damien stared at the photograph. I don't know. You don't know. My family told me she died. When? The night your mother disappeared. I looked at the girl again. Then why? Does she look like me? Damien didn't answer. I turned the photograph over. There was handwriting on the back. Nora Anal Fimi Portraiti. I looked up. That's my name. Yes. But you said your family has been looking for me for 22 years. Yes. Then why were we photographed together? He stared at the photograph. I don't know. A small metallic click came from inside the frame. The photograph split open. A hidden compartment appeared. Inside was a tiny key and a note. I unfolded it. 3 words were written in black ink. Remembers. My head suddenly exploded with pain. I dropped the note. Images flashed through my mind. A mansion. A ballroom. A little boy holding my hand. A woman screaming. A locked basement. Blood on white marble. And a man kneeling in front of me. I couldn't see his face. But I heard his voice. Promise me you'll come back, I gasped. Damien caught me before I fell. Nora. I pushed him away. Don't touch me. You're bleeding. I touched my nose. Blood covered my fingers. The garage lights flickered. Then every security screen switched on at once. A message appeared. Memory restoration, 3%. Damien stared. What is that? I whispered. I don't know. Another message appeared. Damien went completely still. I looked at him. Original air. He didn't answer. The screens changed again. A photograph appeared. A young girl, me, standing in front of the Cross family mansion. But beside me stood a man I had never seen. He was holding my hand. And beneath the photograph was a date. 22 years ago. I stared. The date was impossible. I wasn't supposed to remember anything from that time. But suddenly, I did. A door. A basement. A contract. And my own childish voice saying, I'll marry him when I'm older. Damien looked at me. His face had gone white. What? I whispered. I remember. Remember what? I looked directly at him. You. The garage fell silent. I remember you. Damien couldn't speak. I stepped closer. You weren't a stranger. No, you were my best friend. Yes, you promised you'd protect me. His eyes filled with something I couldn't identify. Yes. And then you betrayed me. His face collapsed. I was 12. You opened the door. I had no choice. You let them take me. I tried to stop them. You failed. He closed his eyes. I know. I remembered more. A woman dragging me away. A little Damien screaming. A man striking him. My mother shouting. Then the fire. But one detail was missing. What happened immediately before? The fire? I looked at Damien. You know, he nodded. What happened? He looked at the screens. I was ordered to choose. Choose what? Which child would leave? My blood froze. There were two of us. Yes. You chose me. No. He looked at me. I chose the other girl. My heart stopped. Who? He didn't answer. The garage door suddenly opened. A woman stepped inside. She wore a white dress. She looked exactly like me. She stopped 3 feet away, then smiled. Hello, sister. I stared at her. Damien whispered one word. Claire. The woman smiled. The bride he was supposed to marry. And then she raised a gun at me. Claire's finger tightened around the trigger. I didn't move. Neither did Damien. For 3 seconds, nobody breathed. Then Claire smiled. You look exactly like me. I stared at her. No. Her smile faded. No. You look like me. She tilted her head. That's what? I said. No. You look like the version of me everyone wanted. Her eyes narrowed. Damien stepped between us. Claire laughed. You always did that. Put the gun down, you always protected her. I said put it down. And you always chose her. Damien's jaw tightened. Smile disappeared. Then why am I still the dead girl? A shot exploded. Not from Claire. From the balcony above us. The bullet struck the concrete beside her. She ducked. Damien grabbed me and pulled me behind a vehicle. Stay down. More gunshots followed. Claire rolled behind. Another car. Who the hell is shooting at us? Damien looked up. Everyone. That isn't helpful. It wasn't supposed to be. A man appeared on the upper level. Then another. Then 5 more. They weren't security. They were dressed in identical gray suits. Claire peeked around the car. Counsel. Damien looked at her. You're working with them? Claire laughed. If I were working with them, we'd already be dead. She fired twice. One of the gray-suited men fell. Then what do they want? She looked at me. Her. Of course. Everyone wanted me. I was beginning to take it, personally. Damien grabbed a spare weapon from beneath the SUV. How do we get out? Claire pointed toward the service tunnel. We don't. Why? Because they sealed the exits. Damien looked at the ceiling. Then we go up. Claire laughed. You're insane. You knew that when you almost married me. I never almost married you. You signed the papers. I signed them because my father threatened to kill me. Damien froze. Claire's eyes hardened. You thought I disappeared because I betrayed you. I never said that. You didn't have to. Another bullet struck the Teb vehicle. Claire shouted. They'll keep shooting until she comes out. I looked at Damien. She's talking about me. Yes. Then maybe I should go. No. I've spent my entire life running from people I don't understand. I looked at the men above. I'm tired. Damien grabbed my arm. Nora. I said tired. I stood. The shooting stopped. Every gray-suited man looked down. One of them stepped forward. Miss Cross. I looked up. Who are you? My name is Marcus Vale. The name hit me. Not because I knew him. Because the machines had shown it before. Marcus Vale. A name buried deep inside. My restored memories. I stared. You're the man from the photograph. He smiled. So you've begun remembering. Damien raised his gun. Stay away from her. Marcus ignored him. You don't understand what she is. I know exactly what she is. No. Marcus shook his head. You know what they told you. His eyes settled on me. I know what she was created to do. My stomach tightened. What? Marcus smiled. Open the vault. Claire suddenly fired at him. Marcus ducked. Shut up. Her voice cracked. Marcus laughed. You still hate the truth. You don't know anything about me. I watched you die. Claire went pale. You weren't supposed to remember that. Marcus looked at me. Neither was she. Damien fired. Marcus disappeared behind the railing. Move. Damien shoved me toward the service tunnel. Claire followed. We ran. Behind us, gunfire erupted again. Narrow and wet. I could hear Damien breathing hard beside me. Claire ran ahead, then suddenly stopped. A metal door blocked the passage. She swore. Locked. Damien stepped forward. Move. He entered a code, red light. He tried again. Red. Again. Nothing. I stepped closer. Let me try. Damien looked at me. Nora, it's encrypted. I pressed my palm against the scanner. Green. The door opened. Everyone stared at me. I looked at my hand. I don't even know why I did that. Claire whispered. You always could. I turned. What? She looked away. Nothing. No. You said I always could. Claire swallowed. Before the fire, there were doors only you could open. What was behind them? She didn't answer. Damien did. Nothing good. We entered. The door slammed behind us. For the first time, the gunfire disappeared. The room beyond was enormous. Not a tunnel. Archive. Thousands of metal drawers covered the walls. Files. Hard drives. Photographs. Weapons. Boxes. At the center stood a glass table. On it was a single black folder. My name was printed on the cover. I walked toward it. Damien caught my wrist. Don't. Why? Because that's what they want. Everyone keeps telling me not to open things. I pulled away. I'm done listening. I opened the folder. The first page contained a birth certificate. My birth certificate, except it listed my name as Nora Elizabeth Cross, father unknown, mother Claire Cross-Wan. Stopped breathing. I looked at the woman standing behind me. Your name. Claire stared at the document. I knew they'd put it there. You're my mother. She shook her head. No. Then why does it say that? Because the system doesn't recognize biological parents. I turned the page. A. Second certificate. Mother. Evelyn Cross. My eyes widened. Damien's mother. His dead mother. I looked at him. You told me she died. She did. Then how can she be my mother? I don't know. Claire stepped closer. She wasn't. I turned. Then tell me the truth. Claire stared at me for several seconds. You were born from 3 women. What? Your genetic material came from Evelyn Cross. She pointed at herself. Mine. Then toward the door. Your mother's. I frowned. My mother, your biological mother, is alive. My mother is alive. Yes. Then who was the woman on the recording? Claire's face went pale. Not her. I felt dizzy. Then who? Claire whispered. Her twin. Silence. Damien looked stunned. My mother had a twin. Claire nodded. Evelyn had a sister. Why didn't anyone tell me? Because she was the first architect. Of what? Claire looked at the archive. Contract. I stared at the black folder. What contract? The one you're wearing. She pointed at my ring. This isn't a wedding ring. I already knew that. But hearing it from her made my stomach twist. What is it? A key. To what? The vault beneath the original Cross estate. Damien looked at Claire. You said the vault was destroyed. I lied. Why? Because if the council knew it still existed, they'd kill her. I looked at both of them. What's inside? Claire whispered. Proof. Proof of what? That the Cross family didn't build the empire. Then who did? Claire looked at me. You. Did, I laughed. Not because it was funny. Because I couldn't take another insane sentence. I'm sorry. You were 4 years old when they first showed you the company. That makes no sense. You chose the first CEO. I stared. I was 4. You knew things adults didn't. I was a child. You were. The only child who could understand the system. Damien stepped forward. That's why they erased her memories. Claire nodded. They didn't erase them. They buried them. I touched my head. Then why are they coming back now? Claire looked at the ring. Because someone removed a lock. Who? She looked at Damien. He went still. You. Damien frowned. I never touched it. You don't remember? No. Claire looked at me. That's the problem. The lights suddenly went out. A loud metallic bang echoed through the archive. Then another. The door we'd entered through began bending inward. Someone was trying to break through. Damien raised his gun. Claire checked hers. I looked at the black folder. What do we do? Damien looked at me. Take it. I picked it up. The moment I touched it, the entire archive came alive. Lights flashed. Screens descended from the ceiling. A computerized voice spoke. Primary error confirmed. Damien stared. Primary error. The voice continued. Welcome back, Nora. My skin prickled. It wasn't a machine voice. It was a recording. My own voice. A child's voice. Hi. I froze. The child version of me spoke through the speakers. If you're hearing this, then I forgot again. Claire covered her mouth. Damien looked at me. The recording continued. I don't know how old I am when this plays, but I know they'll lie. They'll tell me I'm a daughter. They'll tell me I'm a wife. They'll tell me I'm a victim. My heart pounded. But I'm none of those things. The recording paused. Then, I'm the owner. Damien stared at the screen. My younger voice continued. The Cross family doesn't own the company. I do. A massive company logo appeared. Not Cross International. Something older. A black crown surrounded by 3 silver circles. I recognized it instantly. I'd seen it on my ring. The recording continued. If they ever force me into a contract marriage, it means the system has failed. I looked at Damien. His face was pale. The child version of me said, and if the man I marry is Damien. The recording paused, then came a sentence that made my entire body go cold. Don't trust him. Damien closed his eyes. Claire stared at him. The recording continued. But don't hate him either. He doesn't remember. I whispered. Remember what? The child voice answered. He was the one who saved me. The archive doors shook again. Someone shouted outside. Open the vault. Damien looked at me. They found us. Claire grabbed the folder. Then we need to move. No. I took it back. We're not running. Damien stared. What are you doing? I want answers. We don't have time. Then make time. I walked toward the central console. A screen asked for authorization. I placed my hand against it. The system scanned my palm. Then my eyes. Then the ring. A hidden drawer opened. Inside was a small metal box. I picked it up. Claire whispered. That shouldn't exist. What is it? Your original contract. I opened the box. Inside was a document older than I expected. The paper was yellowed. At the bottom were 3 signatures. Evelyn Cross, Claire Vale, and mine. My signature was tiny, childlike, but unmistakable. I stared at it. I signed this when you were 4, Claire said. What did I agree to? Damien leaned closer. I read the first line. I, Nora Cross, authorized the transfer of ownership of the Cross Empire upon my 25th birthday. I looked at the date. Wah. My 25th birthday was in 6 days. My breath caught. 6 days. That was why they were rushing. That was why the contract marriage mattered. That was why everyone wanted me alive. But there was more. The next clause read, the ownership transfer shall only occur if Nora Cross is legally married. I looked at Damien. He looked back. The 90-day contract wasn't designed to trap me. It was designed to activate my inheritance. And suddenly everything made sense. The 10 million, the marriage, the ring, the attacks, the mansion, the contract. Damien wasn't trying to steal the company. He was trying to make sure I inherited it before someone else could. I looked at him. You knew. I knew part of it. How much? Not enough. Then why marry me? Because my father gave me a choice. What choice? Marry you. He paused. Or watch you die. Bud. I stared, and if he refused, he would activate the old contract. What happens then? Damien looked at the door. The company goes to the council. Massive explosion rocked the archive. The door flew inward. Gray-suited men poured through. Damien raised his weapon. This time I didn't. I stepped forward. Every screen in the room turned toward me. The system spoke. Emergency succession protocol available. A prompt appeared. Authorized takeover. I stared at it. Claire shouted. Nora, don't. Why? Because once you do it, there's no going back. I looked at Damien. He nodded. Do it. Claire stared at him. You'll lose everything. He looked at me. I already did. I pressed my hand against the screen. Authorize. Every light in the archive exploded on. The gray-suited men stopped. Their weapons suddenly locked. Electronic devices shut down. A voice came through their earpieces. Primary authority restored. They looked at me, then dropped their weapons. I turned toward Damien. What did I just do? He smiled faintly. You became the most powerful woman in the company. Claire shook her head. No. She looked at the screens. She became the most powerful woman in the country. The screens changed. Bank accounts opened. Government files appeared. Private corporations. Military contracts. Judicial records. Title was simple. Prodigy, Bride. I clicked it. The first photograph was mine. The second was Claire's. The third was Damien's. The fourth was a man I'd never seen. Except I had. In my dreams. The man from the basement. The man who had held my hand when I was a child. I stared at his photograph. My entire body went cold. Damien whispered, "That's impossible." I looked at him. "Who is he?" Damien didn't answer. Claire did. "My father." I stared. "Your father?" She nodded. "The man everyone thought died 22 years ago." The archive system suddenly spoke. Project. Bride status updated. Subject 1, Claire Vale. Subject 2, Nora Cross. Subject 3, Damien Cross. Then, creator status. Active. My heart stopped. Active. Claire's face drained of color. No. The screen displayed one final message. Creator has requested a meeting. A location. Appeared. The Cross family mansion. The place we just escaped. Then a countdown began. 47. 59 to 59. 48 hours. Damien looked at me. We have 2 days. I closed the folder. Number. What? I looked at the screen. We have 6 days until my birthday. Then I looked at the ring. But whoever built this has been waiting 22 years. I smiled. For once, let them wait for me. Claire stared at me. You sound like her. Like who? My sister? Your sister? Claire nodded slowly. The woman you thought was your mother? I felt my smile disappear. She wasn't my mother. No, Claire. Looked at the screen. She was your creator. The countdown continued. 47 to 31. 08. And somewhere outside the archive, a phone began ringing. Damien answered it. A man's voice came through. Damien's face changed. I took the phone from his hand. Who are you? The voice laughed softly. You finally remembered me. Tell me your name. You used to call me Daddy. My blood froze. The call ended. I stared at the phone. Then at Claire. Then at Damien. Nobody spoke. Because there was only one person who could possibly be calling himself my father. The man whose death certificate had been signed 22 years ago. The man who had supposedly disappeared in the fire. The man who had built the contract. And the man who had just invited his own daughter home.